Hello there. In this video I'm going to run through how a parent or a house parent can use the school math site. That's www.finmaths.co.uk. Now I recommend you use Google Chrome as your browser. So let's get our browser up and running, and you type in this window here, the top one, the web address, the URL for the website. So it's www.finmaths.co.uk. And up comes the website. Now, for the sake of this exercise and running through it, I'm going to assume that you're a parent of a child in 7 Set 2, and you're interested as to what homework he's got, because I imagine that'll be the main use for parents. So let's imagine your child's in 7 Set 2, and it's the beginning of the school year, autumn term. So if we go to this menu here, you've got all the different half terms: autumn 1, autumn 2, spring 1, spring 2, summer 1, summer 2, and also an area for revision and a teacher's special site, which is password protected. So let's assume it's autumn 1, and our son, let's say, is in 7 Set 2. So I click on 7 Set 2, and up comes the scheme of work for a child in 7 Set 2 for autumn 1. And here we have the dates that each week begins, and the most important bit, here are the homeworks. The homeworks are in bold, and you'll see that as with pupils in years 7 to 11, they get 2 homeworks a week. And the bits in bold are the homework. So let's click and see what the first homework is for a pupil in year 7, Set 2. They've got to do this exercise. Look, there's 20 questions here, and it's level 5. Now the pupil's supposed to do the work in his exercise book, and it's got to be clearly dated and clearly titled homework. And so he would copy down the questions and show all his working and underline the answers. Right, then the pupil hands it in the very next lesson. Generally, more often than not, it's going to be the very next day, but sometimes it might be, because they only have 4 lessons a week, there might be 2 days in between, so it might be day after it's completed. Now let's say you're trying to help your pupil, sorry, not your pupil, your son or daughter with their homework. There's 2 main areas in Key Stage 3. You can look at the bits that aren't in bold, and they give you some notes about the type of questions that are answered in the homework. And if that isn't of help, then we've got some videos here. They link to YouTube videos on mathematical topics. Here we see one on multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. Let's just make that full screen, give you an example. It's only 4 minutes, this one.
Okay, we're going to look at some foundational number skills. And in particular, we're going to look at how to multiply by powers of 10 and how to divide. Right, let's look at multiplying by powers of 10 first.
Okay, so we've got some notes that would help and some videos that would help. And that's how you can help your son or daughter with their homework. Now, if you're interested as to what's going on in the classroom, if you look here in green, we have what's going to happen in the 4 lessons, for instance, in the week beginning 2nd of September. And if you notice that all the lessons are linked to the homework. The homework is what we aim to get the pupils doing. It drives what we do in the classroom. Each lesson will have 1 or more starters as well as a main lesson. And the starters, I'll give you an example. Let's look at the 3rd lesson. The starter for lesson 3 would be something about multiplication facts, and the pupil, the teacher would go through some examples of basic multiplication. They won't actually go exactly through this particular worksheet. This is there for the teachers to help them see what topics they have to introduce as the starter. Each lesson also has a main part to it. And these are the online exercises. This is what your son or daughter will be doing in the classroom on that particular day. And the teacher will very likely have this up on the, using a projector up on the board. Though sometimes they might print them all out and hand them to the pupils. So there you see, you've got an idea, or you can find out what every single piece of homework your son has to do, and every piece of, or see also what they're doing in the classroom. Now, how else can you use the website? Well, when it comes to the end of year exams, every pupil does a GCSE paper. So you might want to start early and look at GCSE papers. What we have here is we have a series of past papers, And they've also got the mark schemes, and should some topics arise that aren't clear, we've got revision notes here on the left. So let's look at basic number skills. There we go, there's some videos here on some basic number skills. If we go back, let's say you want to revise, let's say for instance your son or daughter struggling with data handling, you can click on this area here and you can see a bit about the data cycle. Whoops, a little bit of improvement the website needed. And so on, and all the different areas of maths are there. So to recap, you can use this to find out what homework has to be done by your pupil, by your son or daughter, and you can use it also to see to help them with their revision. Now there's one other area I want to look at. This is the teachers area, which you won't be able to access because, as you'll see when I click on this, there is confidential information. This isn't confidential information because I've used fictitious names of, I've used the names of fictitious pupils. This is where we as teachers record all the homework that's handed in by your son or daughter. Let's look at Year 9, Set 2. Now, every time your son or daughter in Key Stage 3, that's Years 7, 8 and 9, completes some homework, they'll be given a level, and the level will depend on the difficulty of work set. They'll either be given also a sub-level, A, B or C. A is good, B is average, C is not so good. So if your son or daughter's getting 5 A's, that's better than them getting 5 B's, which is better than them getting 5 C's, and so on. If we look here, against each pupil's name, you've got a target level for that that the pupil has to achieve at the end of the year. And every homework, when we record it, so say for instance we're looking at Gillian Vermont, she got a 6C in her homework. Her target's 5B, so the computer is recording that they're above target. And by the end of each half term we will have a clear picture as to how many bits of homework were above target, on target or below target. There's also one other bit of information we record, that's an X. That means the homework hasn't been completed. It's important that we catch sight of that and deal with it as early as possible. Now the target levels, I'll just briefly go through those. Every pupil has, at the end of Year 11, a target, and it's based on an assessment they do at the beginning of the when they come into FinBRE. Every pupil has a minimum of grade C, so regardless of what the assessment said, we aim to get that pupil a grade C at the end of Year 11. Others might have a grade B as their target, a grade A or an A star. Now, given what the target is at the end of Year 11, we have a progression in levels for each pupil, and if they stick to this, then they should achieve at the end of Year 11 their target grade. So for instance, let's say your son or daughter has a target of a grade C at the end of Year 11. In Year 7 they're expected to be level 5 or level 5C. At the end of Year 8 we'll be looking to see that they're level 5A. In Year 9 they need to be getting level 6B, and in Year 10 we now start going to the GCSE grades. We'll be looking for them to, at the end of the year, be on about a C-, borderline grade C, D. And then, God willing, they will get a grade C at the end of Year 11. And you can see if they've got a higher end of Year 11 target, then they have higher targets for Years 7, Years 8, 9 and so on. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how we use the Key Stage 3 target levels to link in with the GCSE grades at the end of Year 11. Right, I think that's about it for parents. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, thank you for listening.